Moving away from way down south to South Asia, let's look at what's happening in Bangladesh. India's eastern neighbor is facing political turmoil and it's being chastised by the West. The latest to add their 2 cents is the Human Rights Watch. They've accused the government in Dhaka of trying to quote-unquote eliminate competition. They say the ruling party, the Awami League, has arrested more than 10,000 people in the last 2 months, and this comes just ahead of Bangladesh's general election. The polls are scheduled for the 7th of January. The Human Rights Watch says the Awami League is trying to clear the field, even though they may not have any real opposition at the ballot box. Because the main opposition party, the BNP, or the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, has not registered for the upcoming polls yet. They're planning to boycott the election. The BNP says it's because they do not trust the process. They want the government led by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to step down. They want a caretaker government to oversee the upcoming election. But that won't be happening. Bangladesh did have a caretaker system a while ago, but it was scrapped in 2011 for being unconstitutional. The caretaker government then overstayed its mandate, so the system was scrapped. Since then, Dhaka has been conducting elections without a caretaker. But now the opposition parties want it back, and they refuse to participate in the election unless a caretaker is appointed. So they're boycotting, also taking to the streets. Bangladesh has seen a string of political protests over the last few months. Protests and general strikes called by the opposition. Many of them have turned violent. At least 16 people have been killed, including 2 police officers. Public property has been torched, and the general public has been suffering. This has been going on for months.
What will the poor people do during the strike? The poor depend on their daily income, which is rare during strike periods. We don't have savings to break for the bad time. I have been wandering since morning for work, but no luck. How will we survive? Every price is skyrocketing. How will we save our families? We are still trying to remain calm.
It's very normal to be afraid during such strikes and blockades, especially with these public buses being burnt. It seems we are deliberately facing risks by stepping out during these periods. But what else can we do?
Another such strike is currently taking place. It was called by the opposition yesterday, and they've been agitating all over the country since. Local reports say that vehicles have been torched all over Bangladesh again. The opposition parties have also been lashing out at Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and at India. A senior opposition leader has said that India has taken a stand against Bangladesh. How's that? By supporting the Sheikh Hasina government. Now, this is a baseless claim, but there are some in Bangladesh who are worried about very real interference, not by India, but by the United States of America. Bangladesh's chief election commissioner spoke up today. He said, and I quote, "Other than a few exceptions, most countries are not truly sovereign. The way the US can command us, we can't do the same to them." He's lamenting American interference in the upcoming election. Washington has been very critical of the Bangladeshi government recently. In September, the US began imposing visa restrictions. This is for people it believes are undermining Bangladesh's election. The list is not public, but this is being seen as a pressure tactic. And it's something that Russia has now called out. Moscow says American interference in Bangladesh amounts to neo-colonialism. Washington denies this, of course, but it continues to apply pressure on Sheikh Hasina and her government. So will the American strategy succeed? Will it encourage more protests and violence in Bangladesh? And how will Dhaka respond to all of this? We'll find out in the weeks to come.